This guy is well beyond his years in terms of being wise, his astuteness as a footballer. Pellegrini on his wall, another former Juventus player, attack-minded fullback for Sarri.
And Sarri wasting no time to try and turn this game round. Juventus very much the protagonist in that first half. And ascending into the 2-0 lead as we're underway in the second 45 minutes. Lazio in their customary sky blues as McKenna's done well to step up and win. Vlahovic fell there by Rovella. It will be a free kick to Juve.
We're going to have a bit of friendly American competition for that right wing back role, because Timothy Weah, the big summer signing, he's going to be saying, hold on, Weston, don't do too well in this role. I thought this was going to be mine consistently. But some intra-squad competition never hurts.
A pair of Americans, it seems, are battling it out for the same position. Kenny involved in that second goal. The build-up cutting in off that right. So we'll see if Juve add to their lead and really cause Lazio a problem before they can even really get started in this second half. Chiesa over the free kick. Whipped into the air. It's a decent service to the back post, and just over the head there of Bremer, who had come forward.
Oh, that looked like a quality ball, and Bremer's looking, saying, I was so close to making contact. It's an outswinger intended for that back post run where the two center backs were lurking, Gatti, but especially Bremer, who had the step on his marker.
Rovella forward. Genuine touch on it, but given away. In that number 6 role is barreling challenge in there from Romagnoli. Referee Fabio Maresca gave some early yellow cards to Fabio Miretti and Bremer. Hasn't given any since, even after some meaty challenges in from the Lazio defenders. There's Timothy Weah. Did score for the U.S. during the international break. Their win over Uzbekistan. It was from a pass of Weston McKennie. Thundered it in. Another set piece to come here. Chiesa again lofting in. Forward through the area. Provedel having a tip around the post. It was Rabiot who got to the header. Put the Lazio keeper to work.
Another great delivery from the set piece. Once again from Chiesa, once again to the back post, and that's Romagnoli, who just finds Rabiot sneaking right in front of him at the last moment. It's a thundering header, especially to force a parry at his own near post by Provedel. Didn't feel secure in trying to catch it.
Lofted in from Kostic. Gatti tracking header, and Rabiot again forcing a fantastic save from Provedel to keep Lazio in it.
Well, that's a fantastic save from Provedel, who's chewing out his defense, wondering where everyone is. I mean, how do you have two Juventus players inside the 6-yard box who are unmarked? That is far too easy. That glancing header at the end, and Danilo was right there hoping to scoop up the parry.
There's a third unmarked in Danilo. Another corner whipped in, this time away from Rovella. Just as Juventus started the first half, they've come flying out of the traps here and put Lazio under pressure. Provedel, a busy man. He's opening 4 minutes of the half. Kenny to take the throw. He does have a long throw in his locker. Launches it into the area. Rabiot to get a header to it. Provedel just watching it. Harmlessly away for a goal kick. Almost set piece opportunities. We could launch it into the area like that. Great to see the Bianconeri supporters in full voice. Dealt with some relatively difficult times. 10-point ban, keeping them out of Europe. European ban fully keeping them out of European competition.
And I think if they play like this and they have no European football distracting them, forget top four. I think you have to mention Juventus for Scudetto talks. Normally, before the season, we heard a lot of Inter and Napoli. They were the favorites with the bookies. But to me, Juventus is always going to be in the conversation.
Chiesa from the long throw, nearly able to create something there. Pellegrini able to settle. He's pressed again here, this time by Miretti. Calmly working his way around him.
Nice work.
Zaccagni. And now Lazio can really enjoy a bit of possession for the first time in this second half. Poor starts the story. It's a good ball behind it towards Kamada. Strong tussle in order to keep it. Kamada the cutback. Here's Ciro Immobile. And Gatti in the way. Not too many clear sights to go for this Lazio side. Immobile couldn't quite find one there either. It's good work though from Kamada. As he comes for Luca Pellegrini. Against his former club. Zaccagni in behind. The cutback in from Pellegrini. Again Bremer in the way. Luis Alberto.
Well, that Bremer interception just stopped Ciro Immobile from scoring. That would have been an easy finish for the striker. Seen some good passes now from Lazio. Kamada had a lovely through ball played onto him. But these last gasp challenges from the Juventus defenders have been key in stopping anything from going in between Szczesny's pipes.
Another look at the Juve chances. Rabiot and Provedel under pressure. I think Allegri was questioning the technique there of the header, but Provedel under pressure there as Chiesa limps off. Was a bit of an injury down during the international break. He's fit enough to start and score his third goal of the year. The question is, can he continue? Supporters enjoying a day out. I'm going to feel like 2023-24 could be a bounce back year, even facing a European ban, without too many big signings in the summer. To find their impetus from within this year. Early returns decent. Rovella. Romagnoli. Marusic. Chiesa and Vlahovic, the goal scorers on the day, is Zaccagni again to run at McKennie. This time lofted the cross in towards the back post. It was awkward there. Danilo just about getting a touch, just about letting it run. Sends it down the line. Kept it by Rovella. See what that passing range is like from Rovella.
And what he has is just seemingly two different pairs of eyes, right? He's always scanning side to side, seeing where the pressure is coming from.
Pellegrini having a good
watch out.
Kamada, his strike taking a deflection. Vlahovic trying to keep it, but hit it straight into Felipe Anderson. Now Alberto. Wide for Zaccagni. Alberto
Great defending there. Look who it is, Federico Chiesa coming all the way back to win back possession.
A round of applause from the supporters when he came back on, as now Vlahovic doing some defending. All 11 players. It is a requirement of Max Allegri. Gotta do the work. A moment to preserve yet another clean sheet. Be a third in 4. Zaccagni in towards Kamada, and onto that right side for Anderson. And Kostic putting his body on the line. Deflecting away for a corner.
Some better passing combinations now. Kamada, one touch to control it. Sees that there's an open option. Felipe Anderson, who's really in a tight angle. That's going to be difficult to beat Chesney from there. The most you could hope for is a corner kick, which he got because of the deflection.
Corner swung in. Romagnoli going up for it. Popped into the air. Immobile trying to get right side just to keep it. Kamada. And Immobile felt like he was caught, but it's off him last and away for the throw. Immobile's attempts to earn the sympathies of the referee going for naught there. Just felt like he was clipped there by Chiesa. Italian teammates a fortnight ago. Rivals here today in match day 4 of Serie A. Vlahovic winning it. Nobody there. Lazio will embark on their Champions League campaign in midweek after finishing second in Serie A last year. Home with Atletico Madrid. Don't feel like they have a chance to get out of that group with Feyenoord and with Celtic. It's a strong challenge in there, but the referee, after some deliberation, much to the frustration of Danilo, has given a free kick.
Yeah, and Kamada's had a tough time dealing with the physical challenges from behind. A few of them, I thought they were 50-50. That one clearly a foul. You can only barge into someone so hard, right? But there, Kamada picks up the foul, back to goal.
Luis Alberto spots Anderson in a pocket. Anderson just trying to send it through that 6-yard area, and Kamada couldn't get the touch. Neither could Sakani.
So close. This, what a dangerous ball. When it goes diagonally across the 6, all it needs is the slightest touch, and it was just a few inches in front of the onrushing Lazio players.
See a look of shock there on the face of Chiesa for that earlier challenge that came to Kamada. Kamada, who started every game of the World Cup for Japan. The challenge coming in. Maybe a free kick here is Sakani going in. Bit of a heavy one there on Gatti. Now, Juventus is making some changes.
Yep. And that's because of Miretti's yellow card, like for like there, another young, talented player, Fagioli, and then like for like at left wing back. This is an interesting young player, Cambiaso. He's finally getting his chance now at Juventus. He's been moving across different smaller clubs in Serie A, but he's got nice technique to him. Good dribbler, lovely left foot when he plays in crosses. I was impressed with him, especially in the first match day of the season.
So Miretti and Kostic making way for the introductions of Andrea Cambiaso and Nicolo Fagioli. An early chance on here for Fagioli. Gets the cross in and forcing Provedel just to tip it away from the on-charging run there of Vlahovic, who was looming, who was threatening.
And Fagioli, just like Miretti, is an 8 that likes to get forward. He can play those connecting balls from the midfield to the attack. And this is something we saw last season when Juventus were struggling mightily in the Champions League group stage with the usual midfielders. Allegri suddenly decided to play the youngsters, started giving both Miretti and Fagioli more time, and they proved that they're not players that need to go out on loan to get minutes in Serie A. They are ready to play for the Bianconeri right now.
Pellegrini with Fagioli, the fresh legs, trying to cause the problems of pressure. Lazio calmly playing through it. Still not really the response that Mauricio Sarri would hoping for out of the break. For a quarter of an hour, not really had that surge just yet. Alberto in behind. Zaccagni not going to get there. Slightly overcooked. The idea appreciated. Will be a third defeat in 4 to start the year for Lazio.
Even this Juventus defense, you're going to get the best out of Bremer when he's in a back 3. That's the form, and that's the style at Torino that made him the Serie A Defender of the Year 2 years ago. He was in a back 3. He had the license to push forward and just be an enforcer, intimidating opposition center forwards. And it helps a lot that Danilo's really grown into this role. Gatti's finally gotten accustomed to Serie A. A rare signing for Juventus to pluck someone straight from Serie B, where he was arguably the best center back with Frosinone in that division. But to make the leap from Frosinone to Juventus is massive.
Interesting afters involving the referee, as Gatti earned a yellow card. Danilo, the captain, in full voice towards the referee as well.
Oh, Gatti's a bit of a madman. See some of his antics last season, whether it's after a goal or the way that he tries to get under the skin of whoever he's marking. He's not a tame defender. I mean, he was a bricklayer in his past life. He knows what real hard work means when he was a semi-professional footballer.
Worked in supermarkets, was a window fitter. Was playing in Serie D at the time. Immobile leaving it, challenge from behind there, and it forces Szczesny into a save there as Fagioli got a touch with enough pace just to put Szczesny under a bit of pressure. Lovely wing play from Anderson to help spring that attack. Loose touch there, and Alberto nearly pouncing on it. Danilo with the awkward clearance. Romagnoli with the awkward touch. So he's going to have to settle it, and it will be Zaccagni, who's pulled to the ground there. Handful of jersey there from Fagioli.
Zaccagni's received plenty of abuse now, because when he gets the ball, he's always looking for the dribble, and he's drawn a lot of fouls with his tricky movement, those quick combinations. Something so nice about Lazio is the chemistry that a lot of the key players have. How long have Luis Alberto and Ciro Immobile played together?
Luis Alberto. Pellegrini looking for options. Pellegrini, who was on loan last year with Lazio, brought back despite the fact he didn't have a ton of playing time. Another option at left back for Maurizio Sarri. There's Alberto. And behind it towards Immobile. Bremer put the challenge in it. Forced the ball to come off of Immobile. Solid defending from the big Brazilian. Second season after arriving from Torino for $53 million. He's very much anchored in this back 3. Locatelli. Gatti. Along with Miretti and Bremer have had their names taken again. Bit of a loose pass, and Kamada the challenge in. Comes for Alberto, who will go for goal! Oh, strike! Lazio with their way back! Alberto with 2-2! That is some hit to get Lazio back into this game!
Simply world class here from Luis Alberto, but how about that giveaway from Juventus in the midfield? There was no way Locatelli could get that ball after a nice little play from Bremer. Oh, that is really a poor giveaway. Cambiaso just does not settle his touch. He's trying to play that quick 1-2 with Locatelli, but he gives it away. He knows he makes the mistake. and it allows Lazio to get back in this one. You cannot make that sort of error so deep in your own half, or else Luis Alberto, with his talent, he'll pounce and he'll deliver this. A sensational hit, curling, no chance for Tech Szczesny, right into the top corner. What a moment.
I think Allegri saw it from the moment the giveaway happened. That danger was coming. Alberto has been very much the creative engine today. 8 chances created on the day. Decided, you know what? I'm going to go for it myself. And he strikes gold. McKennie now. Eyeing up Pellegrini. Looking for that next pass. Nicely into Fagioli. Now Gatti coming through. It does come off of Gatti last. Smart covering, defending there from Kamena. Now we've got ourselves a game here. Juventus, who had dominated long stretches of the game. Even when Lazio had possession, it wasn't terribly threatening.
How about the quality of the goals today? The strikes from Chiesa and Vlahovic in the first half, and then that moment of brilliance from Luis Alberto. That's a dangerous ball again.
Hearts and mouths there. Marušić. And Rabiot does well to win it back. Lazio press here. Get it back here. Bremer. Lovely turn on it, but again, nearly leaving it there for Kamena. It's a loose ball. Pellegrini. I'm going to play it off of Zaccagni. Advantage given as it came off the arm. And now McKennie going direct. Controlled well. In the penalty, the strike coming in.
Oh my goodness!
Juventus' reply. It comes back quickly. Vlahovic at the double. 4 goals in Juventus' first 4 matches. And just as Lazio found their way back into it, Juventus get their 2-goal lead back.
This is staggering play once again. The quality of the goals we were just talking about, and how about this moment from Dusan Vlahovic? And you have to credit the switch from Weston McKennie. He spotted the run of Vlahovic, who still had everything to do with the way that he had to settle at defenders in front of him. What a ball from McKennie. Settles it beautifully. Little cut inside to find space on that favored right foot. Just gets by Romagnoli and Marušić, and he dispatches it wonderfully well. Vlahovic looks world class today. What a hit. No nonsense. Power to the back post. And he sends this Juventus stadium into pure delirium. What a game. What quality in the final third.
And now forces Maurizio Sarri into a change. Former New York City FC striker Tati Castellanos make yet another substitute appearance. This is the big money signing in the summer from New York City. After a successful spell in Spain with Girona. Former MLS Golden Boot winner will come on here.
Oh, man. Whew.
This is a frightening sign for Serie A. Vlahovic is going to play with this level of confidence.
This is the Vlahovic that we remember when he was scoring nearly a goal a game at Fiorentina. It's why Juventus spent all the money for him, and he started red hot last season. He had Pubalgia, never really seemed to get into form. Maybe you could argue the tactics weren't really going to help him out, but in this system, if Juventus really are going to be more aggressive, then watch out. Vlahovic is a striker that can go over 25 goals in a heartbeat in this league.
Zaccagni and Pellegrini trying the early cross.
And on the other side, Tati Castellanos, what a luxury to bring him on as your second striker with Immobile. Now, maybe you could criticize that should Sarri, down 2 goals, keep his 2 strikers up front, but even Immobile said it a few weeks ago after the Lecce game. Sarri's not going to change from his tactics. He will not deviate away from a 4-3-3. It calls for 1 striker, does not want to leave both of them on, and maybe you could say this would be the time to roll the dice. Leave Immobile out there, bring in Castellanos.
Luis Alberto having to go all the way back to the goalkeeper from the short corner. leaping in frustration. Provedel nearly presenting it. Does come for Alberto yet again. Layoff heavy. Lazio, who looked like they were on their way back into the game, on the back foot yet again as Tim Weah being ready to come on. Saw his celebrations of the goal. The kiss in front of the camera. He loved what he saw there. Now can enter the fray. Zaccagni. And Fagioli with a handful of shirt. Rovella. Romagnoli. Juventus supporters are bouncing. They're loving the football they've seen today as McKennie wards off the run there of Pellegrini. One back here by Luis Alberto. Looking for the options. Kamada trying to leave it there for Castellanos. He just wasn't there to receive from the dummy. See so much defensive work that he puts in. Bit of a shove in there, but referee final let play continue. But he'll now hold the play so that the substitution of Weah can happen. See the bewilderment there on the face of Cambiaso. That wasn't given as a free kick. And it is McKennie who will make way. Gets the assist on that long ball.
Deserves the applause. New position. I thought he moved well. He looked quick. He looks in shape. His passing was smart. He obviously sets up the assist for Vlahovic on that last goal. It was a wonderful switch from him. That ball had a long way to travel, and McKennie put it perfect on the toe of Vlahovic. Good to see Weah as well. He was the big signing this summer. A lot of pace up and down this right-hand side.
Might there be something on in the break for him? This will be a goal kick. Marušić was trying to appeal, but it's never coming. Frustration at times in the past that when Juventus gives away that goal that they continue to defend for their lives, but today they've been attack-minded. They've gone for it. Look to add to their lead rather than hang on to it. Header one there, but comes from Romagnoli. Luis Alberto. And Pellegrini joining the attack. Lazio still looking for their way back into it. Don't want to start the season with 3 defeats from 4. Lofted in towards Kamada. Too much air on it. Here,
that's
from
the pass.
Tactical camp, just onside.
That was a clavicle that kept Vlahovic way more when you see it from that position. Not even close.
We're just having a look there at the offside technology, which has been integrated into Serie A.
How about the chest down there? It's a magnet on the chest of Vlahovic to settle that ball in stride. The cut inside gets by Romagnoli. The finish, though, is the mark of a confident striker, and there could be no better news from a Juventus perspective than Chiesa and Vlahovic, both healthy and both scoring goals like we've seen today.
We'll see a great strike partnership later today. The Milan derby with Lautaro Martinez and Marcus Thuram. Vlahovic and Chiesa are off to a fantastic start. 7 goals between them now in 4 games. There's a substitution happening there. Pedro coming on there for Felipe Anderson. The challenge in from the Spaniard has it come off him and away for a throw. He's the first player in 36 years to do the direct switch from Roma to Lazio.
Now you see it much more with Milan and Inter. Roma and Lazio, not so much.
Alberto trying to let it run. Being harried. Referee letting play continue, and now the break is on.
Locatelli. He's had an out-of-body experience today.
Vlahovic with Weah joining him in the attack. In towards Weah, who is just behind him. The ball was on him behind. And Zaccagni's touch presenting it. Now Gatti. We'll just keep it a bit here with Nicola Fagioli.
And Locatelli's hardly put a foot wrong. He's really continuing the form we saw in that Italy-Ukraine game at San Siro. Even that pass forward for Vlahovic, he's playing vertical. He's taking chances.
Cambiaso. To Chiesa. Still buzzing about. Looked earlier like knock might cause him a problem, but soldiered on here. Allegri very much appreciating the effort of his team today. They have found a new formula, a successful formula. It's Weah now trying to cause a problem there for Pellegrini. Goes to ground. Felt like he was pulled to the floor. Nominally a wing back, but is very much one of the furthest men forward. Zaccagni. Alberto. And Kamada was letting it run. The ball was really for him. Frustration there from the Spaniard as Rabiot can come forward. And Cambiaso can come forward. Return there for Rabiot, but Casale winning it back. Lazio needing to find something. Needing to get going forward here. Pedro. Interesting there that discipline coming towards Cambiaso for booting the ball out of play and delaying the restart. So Pedro asking for it there. Zaccagni. Not too many answers. Jan Luis Alberto's wonder goal for Lazio today. Castellanos. Kamada. Pellegrini. Lofted it towards the area. Castellanos is trying to make the run off of Bremer there.
I think Valentin Castellanos really introduced himself on the European stage when he managed to score 4 goals against Real Madrid in a La Liga match when he was leading the line for Girona. Before that, NYCFC and MLS.
Zaccagni. In behind there for Pellegrini, but just a bit off, as it largely has been today. A substitute. Talked earlier about the delaying of the restart. It did earn Cambiaso a yellow card. Referee just handling that one calmly. As Kamada will be the last player to make way. Matteo Guendouzi, the last to enter, suggesting that he might start ahead of this one.
Yeah, in the Italian media they had Guendouzi as one of the probable starters, and you could see why after that terrific second half he had against Napoli, where he had an assist and a goal, both ruled offside. And his goal was tremendous. Former Arsenal player, most recently in Liga.
And today, the last throw of the dice for Maurizio Sarri. As Lazio try and spend these last 10 minutes plus chasing the game. On and down it'll come here for Chiesa, who's running with Weah and Vlahovic. And to his left, Rabiot, playing Rabiot. The low cross deflected there off Marusic and away for a corner to Juve.
It's impressive how Juventus counter and attack with numbers. Feels like every time they hit out on the counter, there's so many options to either side. Here you had Weah, Vlahovic, but Chiesa, I think, does the smart thing to go out wide to Rabiot, who had a clear path to just square that ball back inside. It's been all smiles for Juventus today.
Corner lofted in. Gatti is there, but it's away from Romagnoli. Second bite at the cherry. Chiesa with plenty of power and pace will come for Fagioli. Just elects to keep it. Pointed back there by Danilo. Weah. And Locatelli now. everyone in front of him. Vlahovic. And Fagioli some work to do to keep that one in play, but about getting there. A big win and a promising start to this Juventus season. They can hang on to it. First time out in the league away at Sassuolo. No European football this year. Would have been in the Conference League if not for a ban. Full focus this year on Serie A. This level of play could be Scudetto challengers. Ventusi. Rovella. Pellegrini. That created a chance for some time, Lazio. Alberto. Pedro. They have possession.
Oh, nice try there, but way outread it so well. They have a lot of technically gifted players out here for Lazio at the moment. And Juventus happy to just sit back, switch to a back five, and just play in a low block, absorb this pressure.
Way of putting in a shift. Moved to wing back last year while playing at Lille in France. Is most often deployed as a right winger. Something of a different role as a wing back. It's a big challenge in towards Alberto. Poked in towards Castellanos, but Gatti in the way. Eventually, the play pulled back and a yellow card shown in the direction of Vlahovic. It's quite a lengthy advantage there for the referee, but another yellow card shown to Juventus. 5 now in total on the day.
Oh, it was a slightly heavy touch maybe there from Vlahovic, and when he reached in to try to keep possession, he catches the defender Romagnoli. Yeah, steps right on his foot. We saw Milik and Keane coming in now, 2 strikers for Juve.
Big applause for Vlahovic and from Vlahovic.
Standing ovation for the 2 Juventus strikers, combining for 2 goals Vlahovic, 1 from Chiesa, all terrific strikes.
The 2 forwards getting the plaudits they rightfully deserve from this Bianconeri crowd.
And listen to the reception for Vlahovic, who didn't have the easiest time last season. The Juventus fans realize it. They know the quality that he possesses. And he showed it off in bunches today. That strike there, that is the mark of a world-class striker, to hit that one on the volley. Then the way he settles this, cuts inside and rifles it to the back post.
Ventusi. Cross into his countryman Rabiot. Poked away from Rabiot. More appeals for more yellows. Plenty have been forthcoming towards Juventus from our referee Fabio Maresca. Pellegrini cutting inside. Cheekily ahead of Fagioli into the area with Castellanos. But he really running with him. Pellegrini trying to get it on again towards Castellanos, who put the strong challenge in to try and keep it. Free kick given. Now Pellegrini will see yellow. The Juve supporters not minding the cheering of one of their former players. Lazio have kept plenty of the ball in the second half. Juve have largely held them at bay. Playing out from the back here, trying to keep a bit of it. Locatelli trying to go forward. Keane threatening. The pressure is eventually presented to Weah. Tries to get right side of Pellegrini there, puts in the foul. Recovery pace there from Pellegrini as Weah trying to get the beating of him.
Pellegrini there showing good pace to keep up. Not only keep up, but to stay in front of Weah on that sprint.
Rovella. Alberto. He's directing Pellegrini in towards the space. Frustrated he didn't go quickly enough. You see the shot numbers. Clinical Juventus have been with their chances as they've won it back, and Locatelli emerging forward with it. Milik. His first real touch on it for Fagioli.
And what's interesting with Lazio's last season, Chris, they had 8 wins against the top 6 in Serie. It felt like they elevated their game based on if they were playing the best in the league or some of the provincial sides where they'd squander silly points.
It's one back by Juve. Coming forward, Cambiaso. And chip it off of Rovella.
That's what he does well. Long strider, Cambiaso. He's elegant when he's in full flight. He's got a really nice crossing technique.
Allegri pleased with his side's performance. Corner taken short. Danilo to have a hit, as he often does. Sails it into the stand. Kenny and Miretti and Kostic and Vlahovic and Chiesa, who've all put in fantastic performance, getting to enjoy their spoils from the bench. Guendouzi. Is there one last twist in this tale? Is there a dramatic finale on here? Alberto into Castellanos, trying to return it for him. Alberto. Want to flick it back. Pedro having to put the challenge in. Got too much of him. Free kick for the challenge on Milik. More sullen look on the Lazio bench. It's not been their finest performance. It's not the way that Lazio would want to head into Europe. First match in 3 years in the Champions League, coming in midweek against Atleti. Header one there from Romagnoli. Juventus comfortably seeing this one out. Yet to allow a single shot from Lazio since there is now proving to be a consolation goal. Strong header from Weah. Milik going into it there with Guendouzi. Frenchman earning the free kick. Rovella. Alberto. Zaccagni has largely been kept in check by the American right wing backs, McKennie and Weah. Pellegrini cutting inside into space, which quickly expired with a challenge of Milik. Castellanos putting in the hard yards to try and win it back, but the free kick given against him.
This game's really had a wonderful pace to it, right? Both teams intense in the way that they've pressed. Obviously, you'd expect now Juventus to sit a little bit deeper than they did in the first 60 minutes or so with that goal cushion.
Down the line and towards Keane. It's about kept this one in play. It's about won it back here. Keane into the area, tries the cutback, deflection, Milik, and arriving away.
Oh!
Nearly a first Juventus goal for Weah. He just couldn't keep it down.
And it was an awkward one for Weah. That ball was so high, he reached up as high as he could to get any sort of touch, but just couldn't keep it down. From point-blank range after a really good run from Moise Keane on his first involvement.
6 minutes added. Lazio will need a quick one here. They want to make this interesting. Pedro losing out. Now a break could be on here. Keane playing in behind there by Milik. Marušić is the favorite.
Been so impressed with this Juventus midfield. Rabiot doing a lot of the hard work, but doing well connecting. Locatelli's had one of his better games that we've seen in recent times. And also the Fagioli-Miretti combo.
Zaccagni. One last push coming from Lazio. Pellegrini. Alberto. Looks like a day that will end in frustration for the side from the capital. In for Marušić. Castellanos trying the overhead kick. Didn't quite come off, and Bremer able to get rid. I mean, he was fouled at the end of it. Another referee has stopped play.
From what we've seen in this game, why not have a go? Castellanos going for the spectacular. Still 5 minutes left in this game. Never know.
Chesney alert to it. Saw that his center back was cramping. Straight over to help him stretch this out.
But from what we've seen in this game, Juventus have to be looked at and talked about among the very best in Serie. You know, last season they had that distraction, obviously, with the point deduction. The first time felt arbitrary, then it was given back. Then there was a new point deduction, which was for less points than the original 15. So imagine playing a game when you don't know if it's going to matter in the end. You don't know how many points are going to be deducted, and the psychological impact that has. And by the way, also the entire board of Juventus, the president, the sporting director, everyone stepping down. There was a lot of off-the-field drama that Juventus now can move past from. There's no European football. They've renounced that and just focus on Serie A and play a new style, which I think is the most exciting thing about Juventus this season, is what we've seen today, what we saw in the first half against Udinese. It is exciting, it's fast, it's attacking, and it's certainly getting the best out of Juventus's weapons up front. And listen to the crowd. It's been a while since we've heard the Allianz Stadium sound like this. Memories of that dynasty in the 2010s when Juventus won 9 consecutive Scudetti. That's the kind of noise you'd expect in this stadium.
Get to see. Pedro doing well to cut inside. Challenge coming in. Rovella wide. Fizz through. Shouts her handball there. Another challenge late. And that was a heavy one in on Rovella. This is going to result.
Dangerous set piece.
It was Milik. Got the boot up high.
Yeah.
That's late as well on Rovella.
Oh, that's risky. Nowhere near the ball. He tried to pull away maybe at the last moment, but it doesn't matter. He made contact on the knee of Rovella. And what a golden opportunity this is now for Lazio, just outside the box.
Perfect range to strike from.
And there's 5 Lazio players discussing how to take this one.
Could be something from the training ground. Who wants it? Who fancies it? Lazio can score from this. We'll have a few minutes left.
Okay, so it looks like it might be the right of Rovella. It's certainly set up.
Not pleased at all with what he's seen.
Don't ask me to translate. I want to keep my job. So the left of Pellegrini or the right of Rovella.
5 on the wall. And it will be Rovella to take it. It's into that wall. Juve emerging from the danger. Weah now. Lovely ball on for Fagioli.
Oh, Weah needed the return ball there.
Keane. Juve might be fine keeping it. Keane going for goal.
No. Wea was making such a good run near side. He would have been in through on goal.
After that free kick went begging. Probably is about the day done as Szczesny just making sure the pressure of Castellanos wasn't going to arrive. Keane though. Juve look more likely for a fourth than Lazio do for a second. Milik. Cambiasso. Locatelli. An enjoyable afternoon. The supporters in Turin. Rabiot played it behind. So one last goal in it. The cutback is in towards Milik, who gets the header. But not enough power on it. That Provedel with straightforward work. Nearly every Juve player turning in. Solid to good performance on the day. They've been dominant at times. It's Castellanos now, the target of that through ball. Too much on it. Szczesny can cover the minimum of 6, but there's the injury delay with Bremer. The Juve supporters ready to celebrate the full-time whistle. Not yet forthcoming. Milik. Very convincing final whistle from somebody in the crowd. Milik. Back for Bremer. As the Olays begin at the Allianz Stadium. A real feeling of joy for Juventus today, on and off the field. Challenge won there by Pellegrini. One last consolation goal in it. Off to forward into Pedro, the challenge in, and it's off of Pedro and out for the goal kick.
And this should be the last kick of the game. It's been a while since we've heard the Olays at the stadium. I'm sure a lot of the Juventus fans watching on are heading to the socials to see the replays of those goals. The brilliant work from Vlahovic and Chiesa. A bit of hope from Lazio after Luis Alberto's strike from outside the box. Made it 2-1. But my goodness, that was a 5-star performance from Juventus, Chris.